Welcome back to the show, Husker fans. It is game day eve, and tomorrow at 12 o'clock inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, the Nebraska Cornhuskers host the Northwestern Wildcats. Nebraska enters this one 21-3, coming off that thrilling overtime loss to Purdue at home. We're 10-3 in conference play, firmly in the Big Ten race and nationally ranked. Northwestern, meanwhile, comes in fighting around 10-15 overall, 2-12 in league play. But as we know in this conference, there are no easy nights. So today we're going to break this one down completely. We're going to go through Northwestern's schedule, their stat leaders, strengths, weaknesses, Huskers keys to victory, key matchups, and finally my score prediction and projected stat leaders. So let's jump right into it, you guys. So let's look at Northwestern's schedule. So I know we've played them before and beat their butts 75-58, but their last couple of games, and I got to get rid of this, hang on. Their last couple of games you see against Iowa and Michigan were really close games. They held the lead against Michigan pretty much that whole game. I thought they were going to upset them. They took Iowa to the final minutes, 76-70. Michigan really had to pull away late, 87-75. But I know they got blown out by Illinois before that by 40 points. But they've shown the ability to hang around with elite teams, especially due to Martinelli's playmaking and scoring ability. Let's look at their player stats. So Martinelli, one of the leading scorers in the country, leads them 22.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds. He's shooting 44% from three, 51% from the field. Arrington Page is their second leading scorer, right at 11 a game, just under 5 rebounds and 2 assists. And then Jaden Reed is their distributor, 10.6 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, but 5 assists. Trey Singleton, 8.2 points per game, 5 rebounds. But after their starting 5, it really drops off, and that's where they've struggled. Their bench and their depth scoring has not been very good this year. So Martinelli, once again, is the guy. Got a key on him. All right, let's get into Northwestern's strengths. So first, despite their record, they absolutely have weapons. We saw this in that first matchup with them. So, starting at the top, Nick Martinelli. Everything starts with Nick Martinelli. He's averaging over 22 points a game, 6-7 rebounds a game. He's their clear number one option, and he can score at all 3 levels. He's physical driving downhill. He can shoot the 3 at a high rate, 44%, and he's comfortable taking shots late in the clock. If Northwestern wants to hang around in this game on the road, he probably needs 20-plus points. Second strength for Northwestern. They minimize turnovers, and it's in large part to Jaden Reed running the show. He averages around 5 assists per game. He's capable of creating off-ball screens. Northwestern doesn't overwhelm you with pace, but they can execute in the half court when they're locked in, and the best thing they do or don't do is turn the ball over. They lead the Big Ten in least turnovers per game. And they're at their best when Jaden Reed is probing, kicking, and Martinelli's playing downhill. Third strength, competitive against elite teams. Here's the thing. Northwestern stayed competitive against ranked teams. They've had second-half leads and stretches where they look dangerous. Iowa, Michigan. They can defend in spurts. They can string together runs, and they can muddy the game up. They really can. If Nebraska sleepwalks like they did in the first half against Purdue, Northwestern can absolutely make this game uncomfortable. All right, let's get into Northwestern's weaknesses. Let's flip it. So Northwestern's really struggled in Big Ten play for multiple reasons. The first one, inconsistent offensive efficiency in shooting. They're only averaging around 75 points per game. In conference play, that number's even dipped. Against elite defensive teams like Nebraska, Michigan, Iowa, they've struggled to create clean late looks clean looks late in possessions. They've struggled to create clean looks late in possessions against elite teams. And Nebraska's defense ranks top 10 nationally in scoring defense. So that's just not a good matchup for Northwestern's streaky offense. Second weakness, rebounding. They are the third worst rebounding team in the conference. They've been out-rebounded in several conference games, including Nebraska in that first matchup. When their starters have to log heavy minutes because they don't have a lot of depth, their fatigue can show up in the second half. And Nebraska's depth and rotation flexibility is a real advantage. Also, defensive rebounding, Nebraska has the clear advantage. I think we're fourth in the league in defensive rebounds per game, while they're 16th. So it's definitely an opportunity for Nebraska. I know we don't typically go for offensive rebounds. We're last in the Big Ten in offensive rebounds, but we do have an opportunity in this game to get some and create second chance points. Last weakness, depth. They don't have multiple scoring options outside of Martinelli, especially from their bench. That's been a real problem for them this season. So when Martinelli and Jaden Reed and Arrington Page go off the court, Nebraska has a real opportunity to stretch that lead out. All right, Huskers Keys to victory, baby. And let me remind everyone, even though we lost to Purdue and we've had 3 losses in our last 4, let me remind everyone what this Nebraska team has been this year. This isn't just a good team. This is an elite team still. Balanced, mature, defensive-minded. We're top 10 nationally in defensive efficiency. We only average 9 turnovers per game, or right under 9 turnovers per game. We average nearly 19 assists per game. We move the ball at an incredible rate, and we have smart shot selection. That's why we're 21-3 this year. So, with that being said, here's the 3 keys to tomorrow's game. Number 1, take Martinelli out of rhythm. We don't have to completely shut him down like we didn't shut him down in the first game. That's unrealistic. But we must force him into contested jumpers, keep him off the free throw line, and make someone else beat you. This is very similar to what I said the first matchup when we played Northwestern. If Martinelli gets 25 points on 9 of 15 shooting, Northwestern has life. But if he gets 20, 22 points on 8 of 22 shooting, Nebraska's in control. Okay, so force him to take tough shots. Second key to the victory, win the assist battle. Nebraska thrives when the ball pops. Players like Sam Hoiberg can set the tone defensively and move the ball offensively. When Nebraska hits 18-plus assists, we're extremely difficult to beat. Make Northwestern rotate. Make them guard side to side. We've got to distribute the ball at a high level. I don't think we've done that as well the last few games. Third, this is going to sound familiar, dominate the glass. We got dominated on the glass by Purdue, and in all 3 of our losses. Northwestern doesn't have the size and length of those teams, and they especially don't have elite interior depth. So Nebraska has the size and physicality advantage. We need to control the defensive boards, eliminate second chances, and push in transition. This game should tilt in the second half if Nebraska wins the rebounding margin, which I think we will. Last key to the game, keep turnovers under 10. Nebraska is one of the best in the Big Ten and in the country at minimizing turnovers. We've been elite here all season. If we protect the ball and don't give easy transition buckets to Northwestern, the math favors the Huskers heavily in this one. So, with that, my game prediction, I see the Huskers winning comfortably 80-65 at home. The crowd's going to be energetic, getting behind them. I think we're going to be back to our hot shooting. I think the first half, you're going to see it. We're going to come out firing on all cylinders. I think Martinelli and Jaden Reed will keep them in the game. You know, they'll have their spurts, but I think Nebraska, will have, an 6 to 8 point advantage at halftime, and then we'll just continue to pull away in the second half. I think we're going to force turnovers at a high rate. I think our offense is going to play at an efficient level. I think we're going to move the ball well. I think we're going to get back to that Nebraska that we knew before that, the stretch of losses. Move the ball well. We defend at a high rate. We minimize, easy looks for Northwestern. I don't think we're going to make it easy for Martinelli to go off. I think we're going to get back to our brand of basketball and win this one by 15, 80-65. Now, game leaders. Just doing this for Nebraska. I think Rank Mass will lead us in scoring. I think he'll have 20 points in this one. He's been good the last couple of games, finally healthy. I think he's mad at himself for how we got dominated rebounds against Purdue, even though he led us in rebounds. I think He took that game to heart. I think he took the Illinois game to heart. I think he's going to continue to play at a high level. I think he'll also lead us in rebounds. I think he'll get 7 again. I think assists, Jamarcus Lawrence is going to lead us in assists. He turned it over too much against Purdue, but the last few games he's been doing a good job of distributing the basketball. He could also have another good scoring output this game. Steals leader, it's going to be Hoiberg. I think he'll get 3 steals. I think overall Nebraska could have up to 10 steals in this game. I think you're going to see that high-intensity pressure defense come back out and steal the show. So, again, I see the Huskers getting back to their hot shooting back, at home for the second straight game. I think, unlike the Purdue game, we're going to get off to a good start. I think Northwestern will keep it close with Martinelli and Reed making plays, but overall, we just have too much depth. An area where when we play Michigan or Illinois or Purdue, we don't have the depth advantage. In this game, we do. I think Braden Frager will have a great game. I think he's due. Hopefully his ankle's 100% because he's due to go off. I think you're going to see a great game out of him. And I think the Huskers take care of business. So thanks for watching, you guys. That's all I've got. Shorter episode today, just mainly because we played Northwestern before, and I see the Huskers taking care of business. So happy Friday to everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And make sure you share or tell your friends and family about me. And also leave comments, you guys. I enjoy reading the comments. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and go Big Red tomorrow, you guys. Take care.